nerds, what's up? Today I am doing a book talk on dun, 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 the Selection series by Kiera Cass. Also, do you like my makeup? Because it matches. If you like it, make sure to hit the link down below and you will be taken to my last video, which was putting this makeup on my face to look like the Selection series. So yeah, go check that out if you're interested. So we need to discuss the books. They are so good. Let's do this. First off, I want to say that the series as a whole, all three of these, I'm not including The Heir since it is technically a companion novel series. It's not the same characters, even though they do take place with those characters later. Anyway, the point is that it's only based on these three. I haven't read The Heir yet, okay? Alright, so this series as a whole was a 4.5 stars for me. Oh my god, I just love it so much. I'm so glad that I bought the box set because it meant that I could start each one right after another. They're so good. Before I get into some spoilers, I do want to discuss individually, without giving away any spoilers, that I do love all of them. I think the Selection is probably my favorite, followed by the One, followed by the Elite. But honestly, they're so equal that that's a really hard thing to say because some of the like coolish stuff happens in the Elite. I don't know. So I don't really know if that's the order I guess I would say if I had to, but honestly, there's not much of an order. They're so good. I think the writing is really amazing. The characters all have their flaws, and so in that I guess I would say that the writing has its own flaws. There are times when I just like was annoyed with everyone that's in the book. They're all annoying in their own ways. I think that the love triangle was very cliche, so there were definitely issues with the series, but overall still an amazing story. Let's get into some spoilers now. I'm gonna do some character spoilers first, so not specific to individual books. So unfortunately, if you haven't read at least the first one, then I would say get on out of here, and then as we go on I will start spoiling the rest of the series, so I'll let you know when I start doing that. But as far as right now, if you've at least read the first one, you're good. Go read it and then come back. Bye! America Singer is annoying. I like America. I just think she makes some stupid decisions revolving around the love triangle. If I was a person dating anyone and I found out that they were doing what America is doing, like two-timing me basically, then fuck her. Like, no, go away. But I mean, it is a weird situation because Maxon, the prince, is dating 34 other people all at once. But like, I don't know. And I don't like Aspen. I hate Aspen. I hate that Aspen shows up. So that's annoying in and of itself. Like, why are you here? Get out. Like, it was starting to go so well, and then he shows up and I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing here? Oh god, there's no Team Aspen, okay? Team Aspen doesn't exist. I really liked Marley. Marley is probably my favorite other girl in the Selection. She was very cute. She's very nice. I love just like the first time we meet her when America gets on the plane. So cute, and she's just such a sweetheart, and I love that. How Kiera Cass goes from like, the first one is very much about the love story about Maxon and America, and then about Aspen too, I guess, even though he needs to get the fuck out. She does a really good job of starting to implement the political unrest and the sort of dystopian aspects of this story within the second book, which is right when, you know, it starts getting annoying. The love story is doing very much second book syndrome stuff, and it's just going back and forth over and over again. But she does a really good job of like kind of interrupting all of that annoyingness with the information about the political unrest, which I absolutely loved. I think that's part of why I love this book so much, is the plot line of the world and the country, not so much the love story, even though I like the love story. But that's definitely not my favorite part of this entire series. I think it definitely is the country, the past, the information about World War IV, blah blah blah, all of that stuff. It's really cool to listen to. I just love that it's incremented into the story like what seemed like perfect timing within that love story that you're also watching. I'm going to start going into spoilers for the entire series, so if you have not read all 3, then you need to get out, because yes, we're going into these things. So I want to talk about some more characters. The fact that Marley gets beat, that scene in the square where they cane her and her boyfriend Carter, or yeah, boyfriend at the time, gave me chills. I was not expecting it. It was a huge surprise. Oh my god, it was so good. I absolutely love that, and I just love that all kind of starts to show Maxon's personality and his caring abilities, because he saves Marley and Carter from being AIDS, moves them into the castle, and shows America that he's done that, and it's just like, it makes me love Maxon even more. We need to talk about the king and the queen, but we need to talk about the king, because the king turns out to be even more of an asshole than he already was. I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get to see his death. I'm like really upset actually that it just is a little like flick of information at the very end of the series. Like, no. He deserved some death. Why did he not get it? Like, that's so annoying. I think they're turning this into a movie. Am I wrong? Are they turning it into? If they're turning it into a movie, or if they in the future do, then I hope that we get to see his death, because it will be well deserved. The queen, I love that the queen is so like quiet in the beginning, because she doesn't want to get to know the girls, because she doesn't want to like lose them, and that's so cute, and she's so sweet. I'm so sad she's dead. That made me really sad to find out that she also died in the end. Finding out about some of the girls and getting to know them more, I'm pleasantly surprised that Celeste ends up not being an evil bitch. In the first book, I absolutely hated her, and I knew she would be around for the rest of the series, because that's how books work, right? You hate a character, obviously they're gonna be around for a while, because she creates conflict. But I was pleasantly surprised with how Kiera Cass wrote her to the realization of starting to love her, and then she just breaks your heart by having her die first. That was annoying, but good writing, great writing. I absolutely love that part. I love that scene in the library where Celeste breaks down, and then again when Celeste breaks down in front of everyone and starts apologizing. It just made her really three-dimensional as a character for me. I think that was a great choice writing-wise. And then Chris, finding out that she was part of the rebel group was pretty cool. I actually had already guessed that, and so when the big reveal happened with the necklace, I was like, well, good thing I know things. I also guessed that her dad was part of the rebel group, America's dad. That was not surprising to me at all. Like, he's the one that had the history textbooks. Are we surprised by that? Were we supposed to be, or was it just like America's surprise? I'm not sure, but I had already guessed that. I didn't, however, foresee the fact that the rebels, the two groups, and their whole story. Again, this was one of my favorite parts of this entire series, is finding more about the like political unrest and what's going on with the rebels. Finding out that the northern rebels aren't actually trying to destroy the kingdom, but instead are just trying to destroy the castes and trying to keep the southern rebels from taking over. I loved that fact. It made it much more complicated again, and I just loved that it wasn't some two-dimensional story of rebels versus government and love story. Blah. So let's talk about some twists and deaths that we haven't already discussed. Obviously, once again, Marley and her caning. Did not see that coming. I did not know what was coming when they dressed them all in black. I loved America's breakdown, thinking someone was dead. It was so nerve-wracking to get to that point, and I did not see it at all coming that they were going to cane Marley. I did, however, foresee that Marley was dating someone in the castle. I didn't know who, and I didn't know why. And I did remember when America meets Carter randomly in the hallway, that seemed weird. Like, why did they bring him up? But they brought him up for that, so I liked that she did that, but also, like, what? It was weird. America's dad dying, that was sad and depressing, and I didn't see that coming at all either. I'm glad it happened, because obviously we get the letters, and the letters are really important. Also, the scene with Coda being a jackass was great. So obviously all that stuff couldn't have happened without her dad dying, but I was really sad that he died. I really wanted to see him walk her down the aisle because I knew inevitably she would be marrying Maxon, but I wanted him to be able to walk her down the aisle, and that was really sad. So let's talk about some favorite scenes. So in book 1, my favorite scene is probably that very first when she's leaving to go to the selection, and then she sees her fans for the first time. She stops and autographs, takes pictures. It was just very heartwarming to watch her be in awe of the fact that people want her as their queen. That was really, really cool. Also, the first time meeting Maxon when she's out in the garden and then she knees him in the groin, or maybe I don't remember what part that happened. I think that's what happened. I don't remember if that's the first one or the next time she sees him, but it's so funny. So in the first book, being called out at dinner by Maxon when he tells her off for yelling at him, I think. It was great. I loved how like quirky everything is, kind of like there's a lot of good comedic moments in this story. Then into book 2, one of my favorite scenes because of how surprising it was of course Marley's caning. How many times am I gonna say that? Like Marley's caning, that scene was insane. I did not see it coming at all, and it was great. And then after that, seeing Marley in the princess suite when we find out that Maxon hid her and Carter away, that was very, very amazing and heartwarming, and I just absolutely loved it. Book 2, watching America give the speech on the report about destroying the castes was terrifying to read. And then afterwards, when the king shuts the cameras off, makes them all point down, I was just like, oh no, what's gonna happen? Like, ooh, that was so scary. Of course, in the Elite, the safe room scene with Maxon and America, when they're stuck in there, we find out that the king is even worse than we thought he was, and we get some lovey-dovey moments for the couple of the year. I just love them so much together. One of my favorite scenes in this book is getting to read the letters that America's dad left her. So cute. Finding out that he was a rebel finally. I was excited that she finally got it and put together the weird star, because looking back, that star thing like comes up throughout the series, and I didn't grasp that was relevant, but I'm glad that it tied in. And then of course being brought home early from the funeral and the time that she was getting to spend with her family, that was nerve-wracking too. I did not know what to expect when she was coming home. I was hoping that it was exactly what it was, but I was worried the king was like gonna kill her or something. I don't know. I knew she lived obviously, but like, of course the climactic war zone scene, thinking Maxon died, Chris, and just everything in that scene. It was so gloriously chaotic. Giving her the ring at the end made me like tear up. It was so cute. It makes me want a ring exactly like what's described in the book, with the 2 birthstones and the diamond obviously, and I'm just so glad it happened. I am a little sad that like it ends where it ends. I wanted more of their time married together, which I know that there is this lovely thing in the box set that I haven't read yet, which is after the one by Kiera, and it's a little of what happens after she gets married to Maxon, and so I will be reading that. But yes, that are my thoughts. Those are my thoughts on the selection series.